Hello space friends, I am CCP Guard, captain of the Friendship, and you are watching 07, the EVE online show. On today's show, CCP Mimic and I will take a look at what's been happening in space lately. But first, let's take a look at this.
Wirikumi?
Virikumi.
Wirikumi. Wirkumi?
Jita.
Jita?
Svipul. Svipul.
A scythe? Scythe.
Scythe.
Nidhogger.
Ja, Nidhogger.
Nidhogger.
Scimitar.
Scimitar.
Gnosis.
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 That would be the Executor.
The Execure.
Excera?
Kalakiota.
Nagelfar.
Nagelfar.
Nackfar? Jag vet inte. Nackfar.
Hey, that was how do you say it, and now you know how to say it.
Yes, you do.
But there's been a lot going on here in Iceland lately. We just got over Fanfest, which is our favorite time of the year.
It was indeed, and that was everyone telling us how to say it at Fanfest. But
yeah,
a lot happened at Fanfest this year.
Oh yes. So many good things. We had a solar eclipse, almost a full solar eclipse, but we had a full sunny morning until the eclipse, of course, and it was a beautiful, magical moment outside of Harpa with everybody watching, and it was fantastic. Then it got really cold.
It did.
So when it ended, we just went in and we Fanfested some more.
We did indeed. But just before Fanfest started, we also had a player versus devs football match, but I think it's about time we stopped gloating about the score. So yes, it was the community won, as they say.
Yeah,
but, yes.
Let's not gloat about that, but better luck next time and all that. But
that wasn't the only thing.
It was the only sports event that took place at Fanfest. We had the Worlds Collide Championships, which Camel Empire won on behalf of TQ. They beat the Serenity Champions. It was the first on-stage PvP event we've done in front of a live audience, and we'll definitely be doing something like that again because it was absolutely fantastic.
It is. And speaking about combat, later on in the show we've got a Celebrity Shootout again, like we did last time. And just like last time, afterwards, Guard and I are going to be roaming in Tama afterwards. So make your way there, and This time we'll do it.
Yeah.
This time
we'll clean out Tama. We've kind of mastered PvP by now, and look, it's on. So come to Tama at the end of the show, and we'll show you how it's done.
Exactly, but that wasn't the only new and first and shiny thing that happened at Fanfest. One of the things that I was most impressed by was the player presentations, which was a new addition. And all of those, as well as the keynotes, are up on YouTube at the moment. And I'm sorry that we haven't got the full days up yet, where you can see all the player presenters who are helping us on the EVE TV team, but they're still available on Twitch, so be sure to check them out because they're definitely worth watching.
Yeah, really good stuff. I missed a lot of them, of course, because I was running around Fanfest doing a lot of things like a madman, but I've been catching up on these presentations while I do work here in the office since then, and it's really good, so check that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And while we were having our Fanfest here in Iceland, some of our friends in Fistful of Finns were having their own little Finfest, I suppose you would call it, over in Finland. And so we spoke to Ugly Eric and Uppo Nalle, and we found out what they got up to. So take a look at this.
We've been having real-life meetings with this corporation for years now. Other bigger than others, but nowadays we try to keep 2 bigger co-op meetings every year. One on the winter in Finland, and then we go on summertime to Estonia somewhere for a prolonged weekend.
Well, of course, there's a lot of like-minded people, and what I like the most about about being on both Fanfest and doing our own meets is that you have so many different careers and interests in their own lives, but then you have this thing that brings them all together and can find common ground with everyone and have a good time. And that's pretty much what Fistful of Finns is all about in the Finnish gaming community.
Usually our meetings include vast amounts of alcohol, good jokes, and lots of nakedness.
It looks like this year is going to be probably the most exciting year in EVE for me personally ever.
I agree on that one, that the future is looking brighter than ever before.
We started a new player-friendly corporation called For a Few Finns More, and trying to get some new players from the Finnish gaming community joining EVE Online. For new players watching this and listening to this, get in touch with Red Pain Hawk in-game or join the FFFIN in-game channel for more information.
I gotta love the Finns.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you finish, but that was probably the greatest party collection of party pics I've seen all week.
And talking about parties, we've got one more big one coming up later this year. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot more, but there's something that we definitely have to talk about.
A lot of good parties sprinkled over the rest of the year, but like the king of parties for the remainder of the year has to be EVE Vegas, and it's going to be really hard to top that. We opened ticket sales. Actually, we opened ticket sales at FanFest for both FanFest and EVE Vegas, and we've actually sold almost 400 tickets.
Already?
To EVE Vegas. Already, in less than 2 weeks.
But
almost
that's almost as many as we had sold for the entire trip last year. I know it's sold out, but that's...
Yeah, it sold out at like 500 plus tickets, and now we're almost up to 400 in less than, 2 weeks. It's crazy.
That's
fantastic. And so there's a lot of people coming to Vegas this year. Tickets are selling fast, so if you're going, just jump on it. There's nothing to wait for. But obviously we'll need more room at the Planet Hollywood. We'll need more devs, we'll need more content, and basically just a little bit more of everything. And there's going to be a lot of news coming out about that. So you could say that we are going all in.
Yes. Anyway, this is a current affairs segment, and so we should be talking about current affairs.
Yes.
Which means that we should be talking about space.
We should be talking about space, that's right. So what we did, we went and talked to our good friend and one of our favorite content makers, Hendrick Tallardar. And he's been making really good news segments about what's happening in the depths of space. And we asked him if he wanted to make a news report for the 07 show, and he said yes. So without further ado, here is the 07 report by Hendrick Tallardar.
Hey there, space friends, and welcome to the 07 report. I'm Hendrick Tallardar, here to share with you the big news and recent happenings in EVE Online. We begin with Nullsec, where, out in the Catch region, the Hero Coalition has been under attack, with Pandemic Legion pushing and prodding by threatening to take systems after starting structure timers. Most notably, PL recently provoked brave newbies and Hero Coalition into evacuating the system of GE-8JV by starting structure timers out of order. During this evacuation, a little over 9 billion ISK was destroyed when a player tried to move thousands of skill books in an Eagle. Brave newbies also suffered a loss of a fair number of super capitals and titans, as well as fleet commanders, when the members of Apathy LLC were ejected from the alliance, with some subsequently ending up in Pandemic Legion. In addition to this, the Hero Coalition suffered 2 alliances leaving the coalition, when Spaceship Samurai folded and merged itself into Test Alliance Please Ignore, and then with Test announcing that they would be leaving the coalition to seek their fortunes in Wicked Creek. Their target region is currently seeing the N3 Coalition defend itself against Gorgon Empire, Phoebe Freeport Republic, and others who have staked a claim on the region. Shortly after arriving, Test were able to capture the system of U-HVIX, but were unable to claim the station in the system as Black Legion arrived and were able to earn the last hit, putting the station into their control. Several hours later, however, Test were able to fully claim the system and the station, establishing a foothold into the region. To the southwest of New Eden, the N3 Coalition and the CFC have been warring over the Fountain region for several weeks. N3 joined up with Black Legion in an offensive push, with the CFC utilizing longtime regional dwellers, the Confederation of XX Pizza XX, to aid in the defense of the region. With several weeks and little strides in the offensive being made, the CFC recently announced that they would be going on a counteroffensive and invading N3's holdings of Delph, Quarius, and Period bases. Shortly thereafter, Brave Newbies announced that they would be deploying to the regions and would accept mercenary contracts, giving them a reprieve from PL's attacks. For folks who aren't into the big nullsec fights, EveBet recently sponsored a pair of NPSI fleets that were made public to all and organized by the Waffles Alliance this past weekend. The fleets had around 1.6 billion ISK in prizes handed out to various fleet members, and was done to help promote the alliance and provide more entertainment for those interested in no-strings-attached PvP. In other NPSI news, RVB Ganked will be hosting their 162nd fleet very soon, so if you're interested in participating, you can get all the info in the in-game channel RVB Ganked. In some high-sec news, members of the CSC group The Ministry of Love were able to take down a Nomad jump freighter, culminating in around 27 billion ISK lost. For a financial comparison, this is about the same amount that a fully fit supercarrier will cost. And finally, since the start of March, there have been several Titans destroyed across New Eden. First, there was a Titan belonging to Psychotic Tendencies destroyed by Northern Coalition in the low-sec system of Airing. Not long after, the recently revived Mercenary Coalition lost a Titan of their own in Tanolin, located in Nullsec, thanks to Snuffed Out. Pandemic Legion and some of their friends were involved in destroying a Leviathan in Lowsec several days later in the Mai system. Then, they went on to destroy a Nulli Secunda Titan in the Nullsec system 37S-KO just a few days later. Not to be outdone, Snuffed Out were then involved in another Titan destruction by destroying a Goonswarm Federation Leviathan in the Lowsec system of Aunin. Then, Losec near Shalopin were responsible for destroying a Systematic Chaos Erebus-class Titan in Yahaba, located in Lowsec. To close the month out, Curator's Veritatis Alliance, also known simply as CVA, were responsible for the destruction of an Avatar-class Titan in the Lowsec system of Valmu, located in Domain. That's all the big news for EVE Online at the moment. I'm Hendrick Tallardar, and this has been the 07 Report.
That was the 07 Report by Hendrick Tallardar, and we have now a special guest with us to talk about what's coming up in EVE Online. And that's, of course, the illustrious CCP Fozzie.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Really glad to be here. I always love being on the 07 show. It's always a ton of fun.
Yeah, we love having you on, and so there's a lot of stuff happening. You obviously, we just had FanFest. You guys were on stage for a long time, had a lot of roundtables, talked about a lot of things that are coming to EVE, stuff that we are, working on as we speak.
Yeah. All of our teams are hard at work right now. My team, 5.0, is hard at work both on solve stuff for June and also on stuff that's coming out in April. And the stuff that's coming out in April is starting to hit Sissy, so that's really exciting to let people play around with it, actually get a chance to test a lot of this stuff out.
Which is good. And quite a lot of the stuff that you're putting in for April is a direct feed from player feedback, but we'll go into it when we talk about the details about what's actually going in. But
there's quite a few things that are sourced right from what people were talking to us about at FanFest, issues that were raised by players, issues that are raised by the CSM, and we're incorporating a lot of that in for April. Yeah.
Okay. It's changing some things.
Yes, changing a whole lot of things. We've got a lot coming up, and there's a lot of stuff actually that we haven't talked about publicly yet. So I'm always excited to get to reveal new stuff, and this is a great day for revealing new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the best day for revealing new stuff.
So let's start at the top.
Yeah, let's start at the top.
Let's start with shiny things.
Yes. So the big feature for our end of April release is ship skins, and this is something that the guys on Team Size Matters have been working really hard on. We've already released a dev blog about, and they're actually available on Sissy as of today for testing. So there's people already testing them out. My dev character is actually AFK orbiting the 6C station in a black and silver avatar right now, which makes me incredibly happy because it looks so good.
Wow.
Yes.
People should go check that out.
Last I checked, there was a big group of people in like Iron Man theme, Sarum, Aeon sitting outside the Undock, Cap Jayne.
Awesome.
And looks really good,
so people should go check that out. And like we were talking about, we ran like a FanFest ship skin offer, and like we said, like those skins that people bought, they're going to be permanent after this hits. And,
as long as you don't die between now and then with them.
So don't lose them.
Be careful. Fly them, but fly them like well. Just don't suck and you'll be good.
Okay, I hate to admit it, but I'm not undocking for this month. Luckily, I'm going on holiday, so it's okay.
But it's been great to see people are already starting to make videos about them. We've already gotten some feedback. We've actually already fixed a bug just like an hour ago already. One of the bugs on Sissy's got fixed thanks to some of the feedback that's coming in. So we really want people to try all that out. Let us know, and we can make a really good skin system.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're all on the market right now. So on Sissy, the skins are not available in the New Eden store yet on Sissy. They're just on the normal market, and they're all seeded for 100 ISK. So you pick them up, inject them to your character, and then you'll be able to use them in the fitting window and switch them.
Just go find your favorite and be ready.
There's a lot of really good ones.
Yeah, really good ones.
But yeah, there's also a bunch of other stuff that's coming in April. We announced a couple of them at Fanfest. So in the SOV presentation, we talked about a couple of the changes for nullsec that we're making before the really big nullsec changes. One of them is we're changing iHubs and iHub upgrades. We're reducing their volume quite a bit so that you can deploy them now in deep space transports or orcas or jump freighters or titans, whatever you feel like deploying them in, instead of having to use normal freighters for it. So that's something that is actually also on CICI right now for testing. We've got a feedback thread in features and ideas. And we're also going to be allowing players to manufacture the iHub upgrades. So those right now on TQ are completely seeded by NPCs. You just buy them in high sec and ship them out. But you'll be able to manufacture them yourself coming up in April.
Awesome.
Yeah, this month.
This is great.
And so that's also available on CICI for people to try out right now. You can start manufacturing them and get used to it and check out all the prices and components and all that fun stuff, for the industrialists.
I get the feeling that installing a CC client and checking things out is right thing to do at this time.
Also installing CC is easier than ever because of download on demand. It takes like almost no time at all. It just updates the cache a little bit and you're good to go.
Everything is coming together in such a nice way.
But that's not the only thing you're doing in nullsec, is it?
Yeah, we're also going to be making some really big changes to nullsec mining. So we talked a bit about this at FanFest. I've got a couple of new details to share. We're not going to share all the details. That's probably coming next week. But everyone's going to want to get their GDALTs ready to go because I feel like people are going to make a lot of money who are watching the show live.
Yeah, so it pays to watch the 07 show. Yes. That's the message we're getting.
Speculators, start your engines.
All right.
So one thing I actually noticed, some people got a bit confused by the presentation we made at FanFest and assumed that we were creating new ores for nullsec. What we're doing is we're revamping nullsec mining, so it's more profitable, and so you get the minerals you need to build everything right in nullsec. You don't need to ship in lots of low ends, and you don't have such an excess of high ends that drop the price. So we want to give you a similar ratio of minerals in nullsec to what you would use to do all the building. So we actually looked at all the minerals that are used over the course of several months in EVE, looked at the ratios and tried to actually match the composition of the nullsec economs.
Yes, it was quite interesting seeing you buried in all those spreadsheets.
Yes. I've got some very nice spreadsheets for this.
Yes, I was at the office late yesterday and saw Fozzie with the glow of the computer screen looking at a lot of spreadsheets.
Very nice, color-coded with additional bars and all.
They actually look beautiful. Too bad we can't show them all on here. That would be a little too much info.
But some people were assuming that we were going to be using like new ore types for that, but we are actually going to be updating the composition of the existing ores. So that's the first detail that I can share, that the existing ores that are in nullsec, so everything from Arcanor, Bistad, Crocite, Dark Ochre, Gneiss, I have no idea how to pronounce that one, and spodumene, those are all going to have completely new compositions for minerals. They should pretty much all be increasing in value. And so that's the first little hint. The other is that we needed to actually kind of catch up some of the industry in EVE to match some of the original goals for the consumption of different minerals. One of the things that's been slowing down nullsec mining is that the consumption of the two high-end minerals, megasite and zitterine, wasn't as high as it was originally intended to be relative to everything else. So actually in our end of April patch, we are going to be, with a couple of small exceptions, doubling the usage of megasite and zitterine in every blueprint in the game that has any of those.
That's a huge change.
Yes.
That's a huge change.
In practice, it actually is only going to be a very small percentage change to the value of most items. There's a couple of items like some laser crystals, warp disruption script, stuff like that, where it would be a really big chunk, and we're actually then not going to double it. We'll make it a more reasonable increase.
I think I have to run to my computer.
What you just heard was Jita exploding with traders. I'm sure we're going to see a really great Eve Prosper stream coming up this week with Lockfox analyzing the moment that this 07 show happened.
Exciting time to be a speculator in EVE. Yes, I like it.
So we're going to have all the details of the exact composition of all the ores and the composition of all the anomalies that will be generated by the mining upgrades coming out next week. We're working on the numbers now. We need to run them by the CSM a little bit, and then we'll get them out to the public starting probably next week after the Easter break.
Fantastic.
That's huge news, but that's not all the news.
No, it's not even close to all.
All the stuff that we could see. You're glad that you watched this show.
So besides sovereignty, another big project that 5.0 has been working on is corporations. So corporations, alliances, roles, corp management, all of that is stuff that we're looking into and have been for a couple of months. A lot of the really big changes are going to be coming after SOV. But one thing we are working on right now is the UI for managing roles, which is right on TQ right now. It's not a very good UI. It's a very very old one. It hasn't been touched in a long time. We're completely revamping it. And CCP Puncturus and CCP Shark have been working really hard for the last couple of months. I think we've got a couple of images that we'll be able to show up on the screen. But this is all available on Sissy right now for people to try out. And we really want people to try it out.
Yes, so we're talking to all of you, the CEOs, the directors, anyone who's able to do anything to do with looking at the roles or granting them. Please go and try it out on CC, especially if you've got a really big corp, because we really want you to test this out and let us know what's working, what's not working. Any feedback that you've got, we really need to hear about it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a feedback thread in the test server forums. We probably won't be talking much over the Easter break, but once we get back, we'll be answering all your questions there. So definitely talk to us there, talk to the members of Team 5.0. And we're going to be adjusting this to kind of match what people really want. So we've actually reduced it, I think, from 15 screens to like 5 or 19 screens to 5. That's what it is. 19 screens to 5.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's got a new tri-state checkbox, so you can use the same checkbox to give a grantable role or a role. It's really, really much more convenient for managing roles. So we think it's going to be a very big improvement. Now, this doesn't touch the actual the granularity of the roles, like what you can give as roles yet. This is just the UI. But in a lot of ways, this is going to open up. This makes the management interface so much better that then we can get after that into the meat and potatoes of the actual like system behind the scenes.
Getting to the core of what the actual issues are and how people need to manage it. Because it's very hard to find out what the issue is when everybody's just frustrated about them. I hate it, rather than look at it. So please, everybody, go and try it out.
And we do expect to release this at the end of the, or towards the end of the month in our April release.
Fantastic. So many good things. It's going to be a good release.
We're also making a couple of big balance changes in April. So this is stuff that we haven't talked to players yet. One of them is that there was a really good suggestion that was made by one of our CSM9 members, Gorski, when he was talking about the relationship between frigates and destroyers and cruisers and battle cruisers for warp speed. We made some warp speed changes way back in the Rubicon release. Overall, they've worked really well, but there's some fine-tuning that definitely needs to be done. So one of the changes we're going to be making this April is we're going to be upping the warp speed of all battle cruisers to 2.7 AU a second to bring an increase that puts them in line with the relationship to cruisers that destroyers have with frigates. It's a small, but it should be very noticeable change. Command ships will also be getting the same kind of increase, up to 3 AU a second. And we're also going to be making a change to warp rigs. So the warp speed rigs, the warp capacitor rigs that nobody uses too. Right now they have a CPU penalty, and that's a pretty harsh penalty. It's one of the harsher penalties that we give rigs. So we're actually going to be changing it so that it gives you a signature radius increase instead. That penalty is still one that matters a lot for nullsec fleets, but it doesn't matter nearly as much for small gangs with large ships, for mission runners, for a lot of those people that would really love to be using warp rigs right now, but just have a hard time fitting them.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we think that'll increase the use of those quite a lot, and people get to try out some new tactics.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Shaking things up a little bit.
So it's good.
Yeah, one of the other things that we talked to players a lot about at Fanfest was the first 2 Tech 3 destroyers. The Confessor and the Svapel are great ships. They're really exciting. They're also very powerful, and they're a little too powerful. And so this is something that we are going to be making some more changes to in April. We have a package of changes for both of those 2 ships that's going to be coming. The big news is that they're going to be losing some power grid. We're going to be reducing their fitting. Right now, you can fit quite a lot. It's very easy to fit oversized prop mods. It's very easy to kind of just fit whatever you want. So we're reducing their power grid quite significantly. We're also going to be shaving off a couple of other stats. Will be a little bit slower, a little bit less agile. But those stats aren't going to be changing quite as much in this pass. And we're also going to be increasing their costs. So their build materials will be going up by about 50%. So that should probably get them up to around 50 million ISK, which is closer to the original target we had for them anyways.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense.
And that's something that those are 2 things we heard a lot from players at Fanfest. Is that those 2 ships, although they're really exciting and they're fun to fly, they are too easy to fit and they're too inexpensive for what they do. So.
And maybe fine for a little while while people really don't know how to fly them, but once people like really master them, it gets to be a bit of a problem.
So of course this won't be the only change we'll ever make to the ships. We're going to be starting off. These are fairly contained changes. We're going to make these changes, see how they go, release some more Tech 3 destroyers, and then kind of go from there and keep evaluating.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff.
We're also making another big change that is something we talked to a lot of players about at Fanfest. This is something that has been going on for a long time, and we've never been a huge fan of it because it is so low risk. But after talking to a lot of players at Fanfest about it, we decided to figure out a new way to block it. And that's what's called the garage door cynos. So it's a technique where you can light a cyno beside a starbase that doesn't have its force field up, and then right after your ship jumps in, you turn on the force field. And it's a very safe way of moving. So we're actually eliminating that entirely in our April release. You will no longer be able to do it. Any starbase that is either anchored or online or reinforced, whether it has a force field or not, will actually act the same way around cynos. So if you're within the area where the force field would be if the force field was on, it just won't let you light the cyno. And if you're right outside of where the force field would be if the force field was on, then it'll push the cyno away just as it would if the force field was on.
Awesome. I have
my GM heart is thanking you.
Yeah. This is something that GMs will love. And I have a space friend in Boston that I was talking to at the player meet around PAX who will be really happy to hear this news. And he actually asked me to ask you guys to change this. So like I'll just pretend like this. It
was all him, really.
It's really
so I think people are going to be pretty excited about that.
Tell us what you think.
Another thing that we're actually putting out in April is the Entosis Link module itself. Now, you won't be able to use it to affect SOV structures until later, but we're releasing the module itself in April, and you'll be able to use it for a couple of things that we're not going to reveal quite yet, but you'll also just be able to build it to stockpile for SOV. So we don't want to end up in a situation where everyone wants to go into SOV warfare on June 3rd right after the patch, but then they can't because they haven't built their Entosis Links yet. So we want to let people build them ahead of time, which means that we've been working on some of the stats of the modules, the fitting, the penalties, all that, with a lot of the help of a lot of the great feedback that players have been giving us. So we were going to be posting all the details of those. I won't go through all the details on this stream because it'll just be a little bit boring, but those will all be coming in a forum thread after the show tonight. And the highlights are we're actually taking an idea directly from a player suggestion on the forum thread to use a fuel usage for it, so they'll actually consume Stront. Which will help make sure that you need to have some supply lines, some support when you're attacking people. It means that
just adds another layer.
For a very extended fight, you'll want to make sure you have the ability to refuel, and you won't be able to as easily like leave a alt logged off behind enemy lines, for instance, without refueling them. But then we're also going to be putting a small mass addition onto the module itself to slow down small ships, but it won't affect large ships as much. And fittings as well. That'll make it quite difficult to fit the Tech 2 version on frigates. You'll be able to fit the Tech 1 quite easily. The Tech 2 will have a bit higher fitting, as is normal for Tech 2 modules.
Makes for interesting decisions. To make.
So all that's going to be the details will be in a forum thread later today.
Awesome. Yay. That's great. So
there's one last thing on the list. One last thing on the list, which is actually very exciting, and we were talking about this earlier, and those are some new burner missions.
So we've been working on some more burner missions for our mission running friends, some new challenges. A lot of mission runners really liked the challenge provided by the first 2 rounds of burner missions we did. So we've decided to put out some new ones that allow cruisers in. So they're designed to be done with cruisers, Tech 1 or Tech 2 cruisers. No Tech 3 cruisers will be usable in these. But you can use the Tech 3 destroyers, you can use Tech 2 frigates. There's a lot of different options for taking these things down. And they're each going to be a kind of individually crafted experience, actually. There's going to be a lot more variety between them than it was for the last 2 rounds. And in April, we're going to be releasing the first 2 of them. So one where you're facing the Serpentis and one where you're facing the Blood Raiders. And we're really excited to let players try that out soon.
Really happy to hear that. And I'm sure people are going to, want to get their hands on that as soon as possible.
Indeed. Well, that's a huge amount of information.
A lot of information,
Yes, thank
really
you very much.
Thank you.
It's going to be an exciting end of April.
And Cheetah is probably sold out of a few minerals right now.
But just those who were clever enough to be watching the show.
Yes, of course, because watching the 07 pace.
Exactly.
But
moving swiftly on, we're now going to be talking to one of my favorite players that I've ever met, who I just absolutely adore. Her name is Kira Tsukimoto, and I first met her down in Sydney at EVE Down Under. She's only been playing for a short amount of time, but she is a phenomenal force to be reckoned with. She teaches, she's on a podcast, she does player meets, she does all sorts of stuff, but rather than me sing her praises, have a look at this.
I've been playing EVE for about 4 months. So I've played every MMORPG out there. Didn't like a lot of them, got addicted to some, but I always looked at EVE and thought spaceships, not my thing. A friend of mine told me to give it a go, that it was awesome, so I did. And I sort of didn't like it at first. I'm sorry, guys, I really am. But, spaceships really wasn't my cup of tea. And then I found out that Kogali from Brave Newbies Incorporated played, and he was a real-life friend of mine. So he invited me to Brave, gave me all these instructions. I followed them. I joined comms. I started flying with Brave, and I've never looked back. I'm now completely addicted to the game. I've deleted every other game off my computer, and you guys have literally taken up every spare moment of my day. It's all your fault. You did the This Is Eve trailer, and we had about 800 new bros join us over that weekend alone. And we had people that were literally a day old in the game, a week old in the game, all different ages, with no idea how to live in Nullsec, how to operate in Nullsec at all, couldn't make ISK, didn't know how to fly in fleets. Basically, they didn't know Eve. And so we were running out of teachers. Teachers are getting burnt out. So I took about 6 classes in basic fleet mechanics, and I started teaching them because it was the easiest class and I could free up the other teachers to teach the more advanced stuff. We recently had an event that's going to be an ongoing thing with Eve University where we did Eve Uni's New Bros versus Brave's New Bros. And the player gatherings and all that kind of came along with going to Eve Down Under and then getting on the EDU podcast as well. So I've been on a couple of their episodes and they've been talking about Fanfest, like fan gatherings, sorry. But there hasn't been any in Sydney, so I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm going to organise one. So I did. The Neocom was an idea from Protovarius. He noticed that there was a lot of content for the beta vets in terms of Eve Media, but there wasn't a whole lot that the new bros could get into and understand straight away. So he thought it'd be a really good idea to kind of put that content out there and then get them involved earlier on in the game. He dragged me into it. We've started the podcast. We're up to episode 6. And the Neocom podcast has also developed into a website, theneocom.com. And it's a website that is full with resources for new bros. We've got wonderful writers like Otto Bismarck, Ronan, and Ronix, as well as Proto and myself. Our whole perspective is that we want to provide good information for new bros to get into and learn from it. I think my drive is more or less, I just want more people to fight with and play with. Join a community, join a corporation. Eve is not a game, I don't think, that you should be playing solo. Even if you're going to be doing solo PvP, if you're going to go solo exploration, solo mining, you should still be in a corporation with a group of people on voice comms so that you always have someone to talk to that will help you, that will play with you, and it will make your game infinitely better. That's my advice.
She's just great, isn't she?
She's fantastic. I absolutely love her.
Yeah, and an inspiration to all new players and to all players alike.
Exactly.
But now it's time to fight.
Game face is on.
Game face is on. This is now it gets serious. We have Celebrity Shootout coming up. This time we got Jayne, Fillon, and Gorski to duke it out, and. Celebrity Shootout is where you are put in a situation that's completely unfair and absolutely terrible and you have to claw your way out. They get a random selection of modules, a huge random selection of modules, a random pick of a few ships, and they don't get to see them in advance, and then they have to fit in 2 minutes.
And what ships did they get this time?
This time they got recon cruisers. We picked recon cruisers for them, okay. And they get to pick their favorite and go fight, and it's pretty good. So after that, we're gonna be here to go out and fight you guys in Tama.
Yes.
But
prepare to die.
Yes, prepare to die. No hard feelings. But let's take a look at the Celebrity Shootout. Welcome to Celebrity Shootout. This is about to go down. With me is CCP Larrikin, our brand new game designer all the way from Australia. And to fight, we have Jayne, Fillon, founder of Spectre Fleet and new member of CSM 10. And then we have Gorski, departing member of CSM 9 and famous streamer. Are you guys ready? You have 2 minutes to fit, so go!
like someone else did.
So we're gonna take a look into the cruiser's window.
I'm gonna do a shield fit, I think, on my curse with my cool
I'm gonna pick a curse.
Let's see if we can find some.
I think the
Some
curse is the best way to go
quality things
with the other cruisers. Curse gets a range bonus, so we're actually going to, Jesus, it'll damp, Hugin, it'll web, so we gotta be able to play a range, so I'm gonna pick the curse. Let's get the drones in there first. How much do I have? I have 150, so we'll try and go with mediums. It looks berserker. Berserkers? No, heavies?
And new.
Yeah, we're gonna go with berserkers. That'll be.
Let's go with some rapid lights as well.
Valkyries, yeah. Okay, modules and rigs. Okay, I'm gonna get NOS. I need NOS. Yes, we've got NOSes. This is good. I need a couple mosses. 3 NOSes would be good. Let's get ammunition. No, I need my drones are gonna be my main damage. So let's see if I have drone damage. Drone damage amplifiers? Yes, gonna stack 3 on those. I'm gonna need sensor boosters in case he brings a Jesus. Sensor booster 1, I got 2 of them. Let's see if I've got any scripts for those. I'm gonna need a 10 micro drive. Got a micro drive. Yep. Damage control.
Tracking scripts in case you do artists, and I can do like drones.
Oh man, I have no tank. Let's see if they have any extenders. Large shield extenders. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna go passive shield and see if I can. Oh god, what turrets do I have?
So yeah,
see
basically gonna try to do the mouse at 30 kilometers. See it.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9.
Choices were between 7, like I think
6,
damn are also cheese and in real 3, kind of strong.
2, 1.
Oh my god, this is gonna be bad.
This is on.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Oh my god, this is a terrible fit. Let's see what happens.
Alright, let's zoom in here.
Curse,
a bit of, oh wow.
Oh, curse recurse! Oh shit.
It's a fight.
This is not gonna go well. Oh my god.
It's probably shield tanks, so I'm gonna do infiltrators.
It looks like Jayne has guns. They both have drones. This is amazing.
Drones. Oh.
Okay.
Well,
so Larry, would you say that this fight is cursed from the beginning?
Yes, I would. I think that's.
I gotta get his drones off. I'm gonna do this at all. I gotta get my drones off. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and nude him out.
Oh, look,
see if he actually got turned.
We've got some Seekers have just jumped in here as well to say hello. That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's interesting. They are scanning the action. So if anybody,
I don't think he has any nukes.
I don't think Jayne's told these drones to engage. I think Gorski Cup.
Yeah, I'm my drone.
Drone bay. Oh shit, rip drones, I guess.
yeah.
Well, we got more.
No, go away, drones. Go away.
Gorski's just cruising off there by himself.
You get a bit closer.
Sending missiles and nukes, getting his drones on.
So this is tactical movement right there. We'll have to keep in mind that if somebody tries to flee from the action, the referee has the right to move them back.
I do feel like Jayne's being a little bit cowardly.
You should come back here, Gorski. Fight over here.
I'm working on it. Stop shooting this by themselves. That's a pretty good taking down some drones.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I'm outside of drone control range. Oh, this is not good. Turn off that. Turn off those. I don't really need that. Oh man, I'm shield tank too. This is not going to end well. He's got infiltrators out.
This is absolutely.
Oh, he's going after my drones too. Oh, you want to play that way, huh? You want to play that way?
Well, you're way too far out.
Oh man, maybe you should have put some.
I love this conversation between them. How good is this?
I got a prop mod. It's like
yeah, sure. Yeah, I got a prop mod.
Jayne is taking damage right now.
He is. He's taking some serious damage. But Gorski Car slowly, like maybe 10, like okay, 5%.
Yeah, 10% gone of his shields.
Now, based on what I hear, because we haven't seen their fits yet, I am pretty sure Jayne went with a shield tank. So he's not in a very good position right now. I have no idea what sort of tank, if Gorski fit any tank at all. So I'm just going to assume that that's a tank of honor.
Yeah, it's a tank of honor. Let's assume. I
assumptions never.
Assumptions have never really gotten anyone into any trouble.
No. Assumptions are awesome, is what I've been told.
Yeah.
Drones should stop being stupid.
Wow, that's a lot of damage to the armor right there.
Yeah,
that's
that is
not looking good. That is not looking good. Gorski just losing a bit of shield, but still it's picking up
Yeah,
little bit, so-
I think Gorski's in a commanding position despite his lack of a tie.
I gotta pull. Come on, Micro Warp Drive, go!
This is a scientific experiment on whether ties help you in PvP. So after this, we'll have a conclusive.
Yeah, I think so. I think we could probably release a paper about it, to be honest. Yeah.
These guys are going hard, and this is getting.
No, I think.
Whoa!
There goes Jayne.
Man.
Wow, that finished fast.
That's CSM 9 defeating CSM 10.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, I don't know how this is going to affect internet space politics.
Jesus, space politics will never be the same, I think.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Gorski for an amazing victory. Curse versus curse. So
I thought for sure you were going to go for armor. I picked the Berserkers, picked wrong. Damn it.
Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
A lot of decisions you had to make in a short amount of time.
I figured you were going to go with Legises because you guys love your dams, so I went with a sensor boosted curse.
Wow,
sensor boosters, they do nothing.
This is the beauty of fitting in Eve. There's so many choices, even with the exact same ship. You never know what's going to happen. And
well done, Gorski. Well done.
Awesome fight, guys. Very good fight. That was awesome.
You almost forgot the damage control.
Well, we want to thank you guys for being on. This was a fantastic, exciting fight between two curses, and yes, amazing stuff. Yes, and congratulations on your first Celebrity Shootout, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was pretty great. Gorski actually fit.
He fit like an entire ship.
Yeah,
I think we need to make this more challenging. This obviously is not quite enough yet. So we're going to start giving people just like 5 seconds.
That was a really good.
I'm gonna die.
If you activate the acceleration gate right away, then no one can do anything to you.
Okay.
So let's go. Slide in. Yeah. So have you activated it now?
No.
So click on it, and then activate like right away. No, you'll have to
Fine.
click on the structure itself. There you go.
Oh yeah, we are in Tama, and this is about to get very violent.
You're on the beacon. You need to do it on the structure. So click on the structure away from the center there, and then
we
hit
have
that up there.
We have CCP Fozzie right here.
It's a problem with the beacon being on top of it. It's confusing for everyone. Unfortunately, we don't have a better way to do it. But all right, so we are in Tama
I'm terrible, everyone. I don't shoot things. I run away.
And our two intrepid fighters are in Gorski fit curses. This is the same fit that Gorski used to win that fight. So it's the highest quality curse that can be fit in what, 2 minutes?
Yes, absolutely, with a bunch of random modules. But I'm really impressed. I feel confident in the ship.
For anyone that isn't already in local, this is Tama. It's really close to Jita. Be careful to jump into Tama. Will probably kill you because it's always camped.
Yeah.
But if you're okay with that, come on in, join the fun. These two guys are both in a medium complex right now, so they're inside of a medium FW complex, and everyone can come and try to take them down. So we actually don't have anyone in the plex yet. You are smacking local, right?
Yeah, we are smacking local.
Yeah.
So
you need to smack harder, obviously.
I'm gonna smack more local. Come at me, pros.
Yeah. We'll see.
That usually works.
We do have I see Chester in local, who has made some really great PvP videos.
Yeah, I interviewed Chester on stage for the Worlds Collide. And Dibbly, we got our first victims.
There you go. We got a comment.
Let's get some loot.
Remember to drop drones. Drones are most of your DPS. And get the newts onto that comment. The comment is going to go down nice and quickly.
There you go.
There you go. So newts and drones on the comet. That guy should go down pretty quickly. He's pulling range though, actually, so you're going to need to get something closer. Nemesis. So the nemesis of Echo there, AI.
Let's get that
That'll be an excellent primary. He's next to 12 clicks from you. Should be easy. Shannon, what do you got beside you here?
Kill everything.
That guy's like 40 clicks away. He's going to be a bit tougher. So one of the guys closer, you've got a nemesis right beside you. He's already gone. So then he already killed. I think they're killing each other too, right?
Well,
you have capsules defending you. Players are defending you.
Wow,
I can't fly and not drink coffee.
Gorski car is called Protect Guard in local.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, why am I so?
So we got Chesser is in a Orthrus. That'll be a good kill if you can get it. Gorski's an Orthrus. Yeah, it looks like the Thera boys are visiting in Orthruses. They probably had a nice easy connection close by. Thera is great.
Chesser, prepare to learn something about PvP.
You die. Die immediately.
I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna check out my
Merlin would be a great
Chesser
target.
routes.
Yeah, nice and close. He'll go down quickly if you get the newts on him.
No, because I'm not on that one.
Yep, there we go.
So.
You're tracking disrupting an Orthrus. Probably
yeah, I know.
Not
It was
I
turned them off again right away. I just got excited.
Yeah, okay.
It was pretty, but you know.
All right,
at least I showed him a little bit,
Yeah, we've already got a couple people in here in Staples. This is the ship, of course, that has been incredibly popular since we released it not too long ago, and that we are nerfing a little bit at the end of the month, so people are getting in. The getting is good, although it is still going to be a great ship, even after these changes. With a little bit of power grid gone, the Staple is still really, really good.
All right, so there's a Thorax here.
Oh, Thorax, great target.
Track and disrupt him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Faster.
So these are curses with rapid light missile launchers, with drones, a collection of Tech 1 drones, because that's all they have.
No, I don't want to
some tracking disruptors, a shield tank, a cap booster, triple drone damage amp. This is actually a very solid fit. I'm very impressed by 2 minutes.
That way.
Considering that our first Celebrity Shootout competitors. Oh, guard is down. Gorski, you failed.
Gorski.
What happened to protecting
you
guard?
guys are just taking it
He may be good at fitting ships, but as a guardian angel, he needs some work.
All right, so Mimic is still alive, though. Mimic is still alive.
That was did we mention we are going to give out ship skins for Dev Corps and for Dev Kills? We'll hand them out next week, but we'll check out to Garas and there will be...
you've got your safety set to green. That's actually the problem. You need to set that to orange.
Yeah, that's...
I'll just turn it off.
There we go.
Now you're all going down. Oh, wait. Well, next time. Next time.
The players have won. I don't think actually any of us could have seen that come in.
No, that was quite a surprise. Yeah. It was quite a surprise.
The screen is terrible. I blame it on the screen.
Yeah.
And the lack of coffee. I'm sorry.
It's a problem when you don't have your own UI settings. It's rough.
It is.
It's hard.
We really jumped into this, so We I think we
lasted longer than last
maybe we got
time.
someone. Yeah.
Well, then Gorski got much better fit.
I think it's because we had Fozzie and not that Rice telling us what to do. Yeah.
Must be.
So. 4 of you, those who got the final blows on the ship and those who got the final blows on the pod, will be getting some nice treats. I think we're going for Quave Vaxors this time. Part of the FanFest package that's still on offer.
Which will, of course, be turned into the new permanent ship skins at the end of the month.
Of course.
This is very true. Very good. I can't wait till I've been stashing all my skins.
Adrenaline, man. Ooh. Jeez, I have so much adrenaline. I'm gonna start fitting into the shirt again. But that's pretty much it for us today.
Yes.
We will see you guys later on the next 07 and of course on the internet wherever we can find you. Thanks for staying with us tonight and
it's been great.
Yeah. See you later.